So in this video, I'm just gonna go over how I draw Goose, and I'm gonna go over my process for how I think about drawing the specific shape of a goose. So I'll put my reference picture up on the screen. And when I look at this picture, I notice like the basic shape of the goose's body, and I take a look at the basic shape of like the head and its main features and try to draw them in conjunction with each other. The goose is a very basic shape when you break it down. It's kind of like this oval and then kind of like a long cylinder with like a circle for the head and then a triangle for the beak. And then when I look at it even closer, I can kind of see where those wings are and kind of how the feathers are laid out. And for these sketches in my sketchbook, I draw pretty simple. I don't get too realistic. I just kind of try to get like the general features so that you can tell it's a goose without drawing like every single little feather. I like to make my sketchbook drawings pretty simple and clear. I don't like to spend a lot of time adding in a bunch of extra detail, especially if that detail isn't really adding anything. And I think for my sketchbook, just getting like that general outline of the goose can tell you that it's a goose. But I suppose when you look at these two, they kind of could be ducks. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you my process on how I draw these. I take very little time doing them, probably about 10 to 15 minutes on each one, which actually might be a long time just for some people, but for me, that's generally how long it takes me to do these. And so you can see me just trying to get those general shapes, and I draw very chicken scratchy, which I'm trying to work on. I wish my lines were more fluid and had more movement to them, but for now I'm just doing chicken scratch. And now that I've gotten my general shape, I go in with the outline and make that more clear. I like to really work with like a rough sketch at first to really nail down the general shape of the animal, and then I'll go in with harder lines around the edges and showing like those simple details. I think especially too when you're drawing animals like this that are pretty basic shape, really looking at the animal to see where you can add in a little bit of interest really helps. You kind of have to exaggerate some of the lines to make it more interesting than what it actually is. And you'll kind of see me do that as I'm drawing the outline. And right there is a little section that I decided to, which looks kind of accurate to the photo, but I exaggerated it a little bit more than my initial sketch with that angle there, just to make sure that it really stood out. And too, at the end here with the tail feathers, this is something I wanted to like really call out and exaggerate, just to show that there's more than just a oblong shape going on, just to add in a little bit of detail. To give like the impression that there are feathers there and it's not just like flat fur or something. And even looking at this now, there's still some changes that I wish I would have done, but that's the whole part of drawing, is every time you do something, you learn from it and you can grow from it. And that's really what's so important to me about doing like these daily sketches, is just that constant growth, and you're constantly learning how to do something new. And then finally, I kind of go in with some shading just to add some volume and depth to my sketch. It's just really easy. I'm not really thinking too much about it. I'm just going in where I see that it's darker or lighter in certain areas, just to give it that dimension. And then I like to add in some shading to the ground as well, just to kind of ground the animal on the page. I don't know, I think adding a shadow just makes it look like it's standing on something instead of like floating in space. I just think it's something small, but I think it adds a little bit something to like the sketch. And then, I don't know, with this page I decided to add stars, just cause, no reason other than that, just kind of filling up the space. That was my little sketching session for the day. I'm gonna try to keep these going, and let me know if you have any questions or if you have any tips. But other than that, thanks for watching. Bye.